Happy Halloween, everyone on YouTube. I haven't done a video for a little while because we've been not having a lot of roses really toward the end of the season. We had a cool stretch here in October. We had a couple weeks where the roses were really good. Did a video on them the beginning of October and the middle part. Today I want to show you some of the best orange roses in honor of today, which is of course Halloween. If I had done it sooner, I would have been able to show you all of our orange roses. So I'll mention a few now that aren't currently in bloom, that if you're into the color orange, you are going to want to check out. One of them is an older rose, Folklore. Brilliant rose. Here in the south, it primarily grows better in the spring. By the fall, it gets really tall and there's not as many blooms. It's a Cordis rose, so it's bred more for cooler parts of the country that was bred in Germany. So it's a fine rose. Down south, maybe not as good through the whole year as it is in the spring. The other rose that's not currently in bloom, but if you check out the videos below, I have plenty of examples of that. That would be Dolly Parton, really orangish red rose, really nice one because it's very fragrant. So those are two of the top ones. Folklore, again, Dolly Parton. One of the newer ones is the Sport of Let Freedom Ring, Zach Nobles. That's a little harder to find. Dolly Parton and Folklore a little easier, especially Dolly Parton. So this is how the garden is today. It's a spectacular day for Halloween. A lot of the roses are getting past peak. I'll show some of our favorite orange roses here in a second, but since there's not a lot, I'll show you some others. This is Randy Scott, hybridized by John Smith, who also did Claire Elise, among others, including Sunny Sundays. A beautiful rose. You can see you're getting some bug damage, but I don't really care. This time of year, I just kind of let things go, and I continue to cut flowers for the coworkers and neighbors. So our first rose that we're going to talk about for Halloween, more of a yellowish orange to it. This is Spectacular. One of the, I wouldn't say new. It's been around, a couple years now, but this is Sunny Sundays. It's a hybrid tea. This was bred by John Smith as well, same hybridizer as the rose I just showed you, Randy Scott. Beautiful rose, a real good exhibition rose. This is more open right now, but that's okay because I just wanted to show you the coloring. Awesome name, awesome coloring, pretty good vase life, worth getting. It can be a little harder to find. What I mean by that is you're not going to see this at like Palatine or Jackson & Perkins or Edmunds or Reagan. You're not going to see it from a national retailer. You're going to probably have to go to K&M Roses to get this, and I'm not sure if Steve Singer has this on his site, Wisconsin Roses, wiroses.com. Silver Run Roses was a smaller business that John Smith ran. At one point, he did have some of his own roses up for sale. I'm not sure if that's still the case or not, but it's worth trying because, I mean, this is in the sunlight, but it doesn't get much better than that. So for today, this is one of my top Halloween roses 2021 with the coloring. You just can't beat it. Another one I want to show you in the garden eventually is going to be Ring of Fire. That's a nice orange. While we make our way over there, let's show you a couple of other blooms. I've shown this one before. This is Jewel Grace, really nice rose. Again, it's not in exhibition form right now, but it was a couple weeks ago. And here's a nice open bloom of Marlin's Day. This is Sport of Moonstone, so really nice pink. Moonstone's listed as a white rose, has a hint of pink in it. Marlin's Day has a much more pronounced pink, but when it first opens, it's a little hard to distinguish it from Moonstone necessarily. As we make our way over toward the bed that has Ring of Fire, one rose stood out to me today, so I wanted to make sure to show you this. This is an older rose. It's from the early 90s, so not super old. I'll make sure I don't block it. This is Signature. Really nice exhibition rose back in its day. Again, this is past its peak, but you can see a big, large bloom, and it has hybrid tea form, exhibition form, and this is a little past that stage now, but with that sunlight behind me, that really looks good. This is Signature. A little harder to get now that it's past its prime in terms of 90s, early 2000s when it was big on the exhibition scene, but still a nice rose. So as we round out the tour, again, today's focus is orange roses because of the holiday of Halloween. We mentioned Folklore, we mentioned Dolly Parton, we showed you Sunny Sundays. Another one, kind of a more apricot rose, and I have other examples of this in prior videos, would be Marilyn Monroe. That's a pretty good one there. Not fully open yet, but you can see the coloring in there. Very, very nice rose. I'm pretty sure, I might be getting it mixed up with St. Patrick, but it's a really nice rose. Sometimes it can be a little winter tender, so this is a smaller form of it right now because it's not fully open. I see one over here that's a little more open. The color in full sunshine will fade a little bit, so you can see this is an open bloom of Marilyn Monroe, and this is a great example of, you know, growing roses. When you have over 40 rose bushes like I have, most of the garden is looking a little tethered. I said, I don't even know if I have enough to do a video today. I've lost some leaves because of black spot, you know, really just ending the season. But in honor of Halloween, I wanted to show you some of the orange roses we have. So we showed you Sunny Sundays. We showed you, we're going to show you Ring of Fire. Right now we're showing you Marilyn Monroe. That is commercially available. So that's a nice one for our top roses of Halloween. We will end with a newer one. This is a really, really nice orange. It looks like most of these have opened up, so you're not going to see the exhibition form that it can display. But you will see the coloring. This is Ring of Fire. This is fairly easy to find. I think Certified Roses was a distributor of this. The hybridizer is Chris Greenwood. So you got to have that on the list of your favorite Halloween roses. So we mentioned Dolly Parton, we mentioned Folklore, but what we're showing you today is what is currently blooming in the garden that has an orangish hue to it. We started with Sunny Sundays, we showed you Marilyn Monroe, and now we're showing you Ring of Fire. I see another one, if I can get away from the thorns of Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe doesn't want me to show you any more Ring of Fire, but look at that. I'm gonna end on this because that is an outstanding rose. It's a little bit past its peak, and what I mean by that is the petals are opening up. So for an exhibition show, a rose show, we would want that a little tighter and a pinpoint center. So this is a little past peak, but you can get a good idea of the coloring on that. Comment below, what's your favorite orange roses? I know there are others out there beyond what I mentioned. One I didn't mention is Fragrant Cloud. It has a reddish orange hue to it. I also mentioned Zach Noble's. Those are ones that are not currently in bloom. What's your favorite out of these? What I showed you today. Is it Ring of Fire? Is it Marilyn Monroe? Or is it Sunny Sundays? I would probably give it to Sunny Sundays. Close race with Ring of Fire would be my second favorite. And then we'll go with Marilyn Monroe, but you really can't beat that. And it's not an orange one, but I'll leave you with this, an open bloom of Louise Estes. Beautiful growing rose. Got this from Steve Singer now 2 years ago as a maiden rose. I'll try to link in the video what that means. It's a pretty good way to get a rose of, you know, so a lot of what Steve sells are roses that are harder to get elsewhere, and it's a good quality rose that he sends, and it ends up really nice if you've got some time to allow it to grow. And I think I see one more rose to show you back there behind the petals and the leaves. That is Mr. Caleb, nice red rose. It did well in the national show this past fall. Hope everyone has a good Halloween. Hope everyone is doing well. We'll do a couple more videos here as we get toward the winter months, probably focusing on what we're doing in the fall season itself and what we do or not do to prepare for winter. I keep saying I'm gonna leave you, but I see other blooms. This is Gemini, very easy to get, commercially available, and this is why it is a top 3 rose. That is an exhibition form. It's at its perfect stage. The petals are open, and you can see that pinpoint center, and this hasn't been touched or groomed or anything. A really, really nice rose in the garden. Highly recommend Gemini. Blooms in clusters, and Gemini has been on a lot of our videos in the past, so I'm sure you have seen that. Have a good one. As always, comment below. Your biggest compliment are your comments, and also sharing this with other rosarians. I know there's a lot of different channels. I like seeing the different channels out there and see what people are doing across the country, and I appreciate your support following this one. Have a great one, and happy Halloween.